Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Tench JK. How you guys doing? Good? I'm glad. I'm glad. Um, One second. Okay. Um, yeah, I haven't made a video in a long time, and there's a lot of reasons and stuff. But I'm just gonna be honest with you guys and just, I really want to start a new thing with you guys, if that's cool. I remember a long time ago. Yeah, I remember a long time ago. I was at this park down when I used to live back in the old days. I was at this park and I was sitting down and I was kind of like honestly talking to my viewers for the first time. It was all new to me. It felt so new. I had butterflies in my stomach. I felt stupid. I felt just so foolish. And it was so exciting to be, have the potential to maybe talk to people from all over the world or whatever. It was exciting. And I honestly feel the same thing right now. Haven't felt that nervousness in a long time. That nervousness in that good way. Yeah. It's scary. It really is. I started to realize how scary it really is. All of this thing. This technology. I don't want to say technology because I sound so old and stuff, but you get what I'm saying. This whole phenomenon is just crazy. Post a video up and there's like people watching you and it's just like, and then they got good things to say about you and it's nice. It really is. But somewhere along the lines I started to lose focus. Obviously, when I started to preach the word, that's not losing focus. That was on point. But I just started to like kind of lose myself along the way. And I have a story to tell you guys on why that is. I don't know if you guys still want to listen to me blabble, but I hope that after this video that there will be some strings of other videos that will come about more consecutively, not consecutively, more consistently. Yeah, so here's a story, yeah? So I came to this school, right? And I was trying to be a film student. I was so excited about this, and I was just like, dang, I'm gonna be a film director, and I was just like all gun ho about it. And then I met the three biggest stoners of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I always had this notion that if you smoke herb, you're one of the cool cats, and I had no notion of that. Like that's how it was. That's how it always was, and that's kind of how I always been. It was always like, smoke weed every day. That's like my slogan for a long time in my life. And when I was younger, that stuff flied. It was cool. Everybody did it. Every person that I ever knew, even the most innocent one, they all smoked herb. And it was like, having a cup of tea. That was just basically what it was. But as time went on, the age started to catch up with me. And obviously, I'm a Christian man, and I'm supposed to be looking up towards God. I'm like reading the Bible, and it's just, and I know that I'm saved, but yet I'm doing all this conflicting things, and I'm over here preaching to other people to, live that godly life, and I'm feeling so condemned in my life. And so as time went on, I started to feel kind of like more depressed, more dark. Everything I started to do started to be, I don't know, it was like dipped in tar or something. It was not natural. And the more and more I started to be in this environment, I started to feel naked in front of people. Like I was transparent, like they could see through my soul, like they knew who I was or something. And I started to kind of compare that with Adam and Eve. Like that's probably how they felt. Like God knew what was right for them, and He told them to don't eat the tree of knowledge of good and evil, because if you eat that tree, you're gonna know good and evil. And that's all good if you could control that. You know, if you have the power to control good and evil, and if you knew for a fact good was good and evil was evil, then that would be so beneficial to you and me. However, we don't have that strength. Sometimes we judge the good as bad, and sometimes we judge the bad as good, and vice versa. And it's never, I'm going to use this vocabulary again, it's never consistent, you know? It's always like a little up and down motion. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, and that's no way to live life, you know? But yeah, you know, Adam and Eve, they started to feel naked the moment they ate that. They were naked all their life. They didn't care at all. But slowly but surely, they started to feel naked, started to cover themselves with whatever they had. You know, they started to be embarrassed when they were talking to God. And that's how I felt when I took on weed. Honestly, as time went on, I started to know things that I should have known. I started to research things and get more deep into things that did not matter at all. I started to focus so much on the esoteric knowledge and all this kind of stuff. And the more and more I started to dig into it, the more I started to lose myself. The more I started to feel darker. The more I started to be departed from God. The more I started to be embarrassed. And it was silly. And there were times in my life where the Word would set me right, and I would slowly get back to God again, but then fall again, and fall again, and fall again. And eventually I got onto my knees and I could not handle this anymore. I was like, Lord, I can't do this anymore. This is too heavy. This is too dark. It's too evil. And finally the Lord set me free. And you know, I'm on this road of recovery, and I didn't want to make a video until I was 100% like good to go. It's true. I used to get a lot of emails. I was about to say me-mails. So I used to get a lot of me-mails from people, and they were like really concerned about my well-being, and they were on point. You know, they could sense things about me. They could sense something was off, and it's true. You know, it's true. But I feel like everybody in our lives, or everyone in our life, you know, God puts us into these pits, I feel. And I know so, according to the Word, that He puts us into these pits that we can't climb out of. And for me, this was it. I was, in my life, I always thought I was a good kid, and that I served God with all my heart, and I prayed and I read the Bible a lot, and I had all these things stacked up, you see. I've done this stuff ever since I was a kid, like following the law and stuff. Even if I broke every one of them, you know, you have this illusion that you are keeping this law. And although I got saved and I was no longer within the law, I started to still feel that like pressure to do the law. And then God puts me into this dark zone. And He started to show me who I really was. Who I really am. My flesh. What I'm really about. And I started to discover things about myself that I really did not want to discover. But the more I discovered it, the more the cross made sense. It started to make more sense to me. It started to make sense why God had to send His own Son to die for people like us. It's because we are that way. It's because we are so cruel in our hearts. And I don't know. If you really don't dig that deep, you can't really understand that. But if you really dig deep enough, and sometimes you don't even have to dig that deep. The scrape on the top is dirty enough, you know. But I don't know how it led to this discussion already. I don't get it, man. I think my life is so focused on the Lord these days that everything that I want to talk about is about God. I do apologize, but anyways, the reason why I wanted to make a video today is I'm always telling myself I'm going to make a video later. I'm going to make a video later. I'm going to make a video later. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But I never do, you know, because there's never a perfect moment. There's never a perfect moment. It's just always inconvenient. Like there's always something that gets in the way. Like, oh, I got too much homework, or I'm too tired, or my hair is messed up, or I look stupid right now, or I feel tired, or there's so many excuses. But you know, I heard this sermon saying that a Christian person, regardless of that kind of stuff, you bend your heart, you break your heart, and you just do what God tells you to do. And I feel like the Lord has sent me here into this weird internet world to do His will. You know, everybody has their own jobs in the world, and I know that I will have my own job, or whatever that I have to do in the future, whatever dream that God gave me. But I feel like there are other reasons why we're all here on this earth. I mean, you too. You know, it's not just me. Everybody has a purpose in this life. And I believe that purpose is so that we can go up and see His face, to be in His kingdom. You know, the Lord says that 1,000 years is like one day on earth. Isn't it strange? Isn't it strange that the longest living man on this earth, according to the Bible, is 960 years old? His name is Methuselah. 960 years old. 1,000 years is like a day to God. Did you know when God said, don't eat that knowledge of good and evil, the tree? God said, the day that ye shall eat of it, or something like that, ye shall surely die. But the funny thing is, when they ate that fruit, they didn't die immediately, did they? But actually, they never even made it to a day. Adam lived 930 years, and then he died. 930 years / 1,000 years, what is that, like 23 hours? Give or take? He didn't even get up to 24 hours. You feel me? And that's the whole reason why Jesus is coming back for the 1,000-year millennium, whatever, the 1,000-year reign. Is to show the world that what it's like to live on earth for an actual day according to God. What it's really like to have a good king, good people, perfect world for just a day on earth, and how wonderful it would be. But yeah, I don't know what I was talking about. But anyways, just wanted to make this video. I hope that this road to recovery, you guys will be inspired. Hopefully, don't judge me. You know, I'm going through some stuff too. It was like a difficult road, and I'm really hopeful. Bye.